Welcome to part 4 of episode 66, The List of Top Rope Reality.
Don't miss.
Now let's get started with the 10 greatest ever WWE heel stables. At number 3 this week, coming in with a bullet, number 3, the Heenan family. Led by one of the greatest, if not the greatest manager of all times, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
That's right. The Weasel, if you will.
The members of the group were Big John Studd, Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, Mr. Perfect, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, Ravishing Rick Rude, Double A Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and King Haku.
When Haku was with Barbarian, who managed them then? It could have been Heenan.
With Andre?
No, Haku was with Andre, but then later on,
Yeah,
Haku was with Barbarian.
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember Haku and Barbarian?
Nope.
How can you not remember Haku and Barbarian? And then later on, they went to WCW, was the face of the fear as Ming and Barbarian.
Oh, they probably had Slick then, Haku and Barbarian.
Oh, Lord.
Well, the Islanders, if they got Tama. Tama was part of the group. So,
Tom was part of this group.
well, Haku and Tama.
Maybe he wasn't a prominent member. I guess that's why they don't have him all on there. Prominent members.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the date was from 1984.
You got Terry Taylor, Red Rooster.
Oh,
Brooklyn
Lord.
Brawler.
They had Brooklyn Brawl, but they weren't prominent. So there you go. That makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, you had the date of 1984 all the way to 1991 because he interchanged people.
He did.
He did interchange people.
Slap people out.
That's true. He slapped them out. I mean, he slapped them out.
Hercules was part of the group. G. Soder and Ted DiBiase.
That's true. But again, he wasn't a prominent member. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the funniest manager I was talking about before. I don't know why he was talking about it before. I'm just reading it.
Yes.
I don't remember him talking about Bobby the Brain.
We talked about it before, so it's kind of true.
It is true. There was no better trash talker with funnier, more well-timed things to say than Bobby the Brain Heenan. Many of us younger wrestling fans knew Heenan mainly from his commentary before the WWE hired Lawler. Heenan was Vince's color commentator of choice. We love this classic moment when he somehow manages to take Shawn Michaels' side. He brought the same level of sharp wit to his stable, the Heenan family. At one point or another, this guy managed a who's who of 80s monster heels, larger-than-life attractions who drew thousands of fans. There was Big John Studd, who Andre the Giant competed with in a body slam challenge at the first WrestleMania. There was King Kong Bundy, who main evented WrestleMania 2 with Hulk Hogan, which is one of the WrestleManias nobody talks about because of King Kong Bundy in the main event. In a steel cage match against Hogan, and then there was Andre the Giant himself, who turned heel in time for WrestleMania 3, headlined with Hulk Hogan in the now legendary confrontation. Heenan directly and indirectly was responsible for some of the greatest moments in pro wrestling and for some of the biggest legends, and that's the value of family over friends.
Most definitely. If you wanted a manager, you wanted Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Exactly. I mean, there was good ones. There was Freddie Blassie, and there was Jimmy Hart, and there was Slick, and there was Mr. Fuji, there was Grand Wizard. There was all these guys, but
Superstar Billy Graham in it?
no, because I forgot he was even a manager. Because he's very
Down
forgettable.
to Morocco.
Forgettable.
You gonna throw Oliver Humperdinck in there?
With Bam Bam Bigelow. That's the only one I know he even managed. But
You throw Jimmy Hart in there?
I did say Jimmy Hart.
Okay.
Because he's the #2 greatest manager in my opinion.
Is.
But
Throw
everybody.
Paul Bear in there?
No, I forgot about him. Paul Bear is. But the #1
You
greatest
throw
ever.
J.J. Dillon in there?
No, because he's like #3 though. Paul Ellering.
You throw Paul... you throw Precious Paul Jones in there?
With the what did
Powers of Pain and the Colos.
Powers of Pain. And that was he was the was it the Jones Army or something? You call it something.
Yeah. You throw General Skandar Akbar in there?
Nope.
Devastation Incorporated?
Nope.
Out of Texas?
Did you know I didn't watch that? Because guess what? It wasn't live.
You can watch it now on the network. WCCW.
Is it all
World
on
Class Channel. I don't know if they're on
Exactly.
there. I'll watch it in a few weeks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on.
We're going to move on. We used to 2 minutes on that.
To the 100 wrestling pay-per-view show must see before you die. Don't get tired of it yet.
With key matches.
40 to 36. Number 40 is WrestleMania 30 XXX.
It was dirty.
It was dirty, but it wasn't
Nasty.
exactly. But it was Dirty 30. Dirty 30!
It was
hey,
Dirty 30,
hey!
yes.
That's funny.
Damn
Key
Vince.
matches was Daniel Bryan taking on Batista, taking on Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then you had The Undertaker losing for the first time at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. And then you had Daniel Bryan winning his spot in the Triple Threat, taking on apparently the king of the Triple Threats, as we saw at SummerSlam 99 and 2000, Triple H. I guess because it's in his name, he wants to be in Triple Threat. So
I guess so. Number 39 was WWF No Way Out 2000.
Yes.
NWF. Key matches, Triple H versus Cactus Jack. Hell in a Cell for the WWF title. Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho for the WWF Intercontinental title. And Rikishi and Too Cool versus the Radicals.
A good little group there, I like them.
Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit,
Dean
Malenko,
Perry
and
Saturn.
Perry Saturn. I was getting there.
With Moppy. Not yet.
Not yet. Number 38.
Number 38. Did you look on this and notice that there were none of the Japanese people here?
I know.
We gotta buy this one.
My tongue got a break.
Number 38, TNA Slammiversary 2011. Key matches was Bully Ray taking on AJ Styles in the last man standing match. Plus, Kurt Angle taking on Jeff Jarrett for the NWA title.
Say it one more time.
NWA title.
Okay.
And then Mr. Anderson Kennedy, somebody, taking on the Vigilante.
The man.
Icon. The man they call Sting for the TNA title. It was right, I guess, around the time that
That's
they were...
pretty good for TNA to be in 38. I mean, come on.
Right about the time they were trying to get rid of the NBA title, I guess, out of there. Then...
Number 37 was WWE's No Mercy 2008. Key matches, Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels in a ladder match for the world title. Triple H versus Jeff Hardy for the WWE title.
Yes.
And Big Show versus The Undertaker.
We hadn't seen that without.
That's one for you this week.
36. WWF Survivor Series 1997.
Ooh!
That's the one that
big
hurts.
one.
Hurts to the heart, ladies and gentlemen. It was in Canada. Exactly. Canada. You had for the IC title, skipping around a little bit, Owen Hart taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then you had Kane taking on...
Kind of went backwards.
I understand, but I just skipped around a little bit. You had Kane. Separate the hearts out a little bit. You had Kane taking on Mankind. And last but not least, you had the most infamous moment in all of wrestling / sports entertainment history. The most infamous, ladies and gentlemen.
Still talked about him
To this day. In every interview that either one of these guys ever have, they'll always answer questions, even though they've already answered the questions. This interviewer's probably thinking, oh, I'm getting some new information.
Already shook hands. Already washed the crap under the bridge. Already finished with it.
They're literally doing tours and stuff together, hanging out,
Yes.
doing Jim Ross shows now, one-man shows with him. It's like, come on, people. Get it
It's
over
1997.
with. Exactly. Which is almost 20 years.
Yes.
We're getting up to 2017.
We are.
WWF title was on the line with Bret the Hitman Hart, the champion, going into his home country of Canada, taking on the challenger, the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, Mr. Showstopper, Mr. Everything Else, Shawn Michaels. And ladies and gentlemen, in a not a very good-looking sharpshooter, Earl Hebner rang the bell, and
The Montreal Screwjob
occurred. It happened.
was born.
Born right there. And everybody got out of Dodge, and then he started destroying all the monitors that apparently he didn't have to pay for. And he was cursing and spitting in his face, and then went backstage and gave him a little shiner, which we still didn't get footage of, so we still don't know if it's true or not.
That's right.
Could it be a work, ladies and gentlemen? Go back, rewind, and go find the video where we talk about it's a work.
The 10 weeks. We went over it for 10 weeks.
10 weeks
And
we
talked
talked about
about it.
different topics of how it's a work, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody
And,
knew about it.
It's pretty convincing
It
that
is.
it's a work.
At the end of the day, I believe it was work. I believe everyone was in on it, and because there's so much evidence leading why
I mean, it helped Bret Hart get so much more money with WCW. It helped Vince McMahon become Mr. McMahon, which in turn helped the Attitude Era turn. He almost is like, Bret, just go over there so we can beat him. Just go over there, take one for the team, and beat him. About 10 years, we'll bring you back. You know, and then, I mean, of course, it helped Shawn because it was part of the whole DX thing. Like, how we screwed you and we don't care.
Yeah.
So it did nothing but help everybody. I mean, Bret's still probably spending money from WCW. So, my gosh, you know, he made huge amounts of money.
He did.
For really doing nothing, because his career in WCW sucked.
And he got kicked in the head, and that was it for him.
2 things he's known for. Wearing a metal plate on his stomach.
Yep.
When he got a spear, he's like, ha ha, I'll show you one. And then getting kicked in the head by Goldberg and ending his career. That's the only 2 things remembered about WCW. Oh, and his very first night he came in, he was a referee.
Yeah, you don't build, and why not
That's
build
a good
the
way to
popularity
build
of Bret Hart? I don't think it's.
That's good to go off of the Montreal Screwjob. You're going to be a referee to make sure the referee doesn't screw them, because you have experienced it. I see the concept, but poor execution, ladies and
Trust me,
gentlemen.
if this was true, I know we're on the Screwjob again.
We are.
If this was true, you bring him on your live program, you give him a mic, and you say, we're giving you 2 segments. Speak your mind about Vince McMahon and how they screwed you,
Exactly.
and we will rake in the money.
Of course.
Well,
Because drama creates money.
let's talk about schools in session.
Who passed? Who failed?
Not many failing grades.
Not for Ring of Honor.
We're going to talk about Ring of Honor.
ROH, if you will.
So-
The Code of Honor.
So let's start this week with who got a C.
Who got the C, ladies and gentlemen, and he is on his way up the ladder. He's
Yes.
doing very well, ladies and gentlemen, and I see him going up in grades in the coming years because he was a football player and he's still green.
The only reason he got a C, it's a very high, I mean, just
Almost a B.
below a B minus,
There you go.
is because of what happened to him, losing his undefeated streak on a house show.
Cedric Alexander.
Not on a pay-per-view. If you're going to do that, you do it on a bigger stage.
But
you don't do it on a
at the same time, though, he's just doing what he's told.
That is true. That's the reason Moose got the C.
Yes,
And that is the lowest grade we're giving anybody in Ring of Honor here.
that's true. Pierre has returned.
Pierre is back.
Pierre is here!
It's about time he got back.
My gosh, he's been gone forever. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the letter B's. We got 3 B's.
Yep, we got a B minus first.
B minus up in here, and then 2 of regular B, not a B plus.
Nope.
Just B.
Just 2 B's.
You have a B minus who is just a champion.
Yep, that's the reason he got a B minus.
But has it been a lackluster title holder? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's been there for 13 years. He was literally there for the very first event.
Right.
And I think he's done very well. Coming out of the tag team ranks, he's done better than his brother.
Yeah, he definitely has done better than his brother.
And ladies and gentlemen, that man is Jay Briscoe. Was he just holding the belt for somebody else? But he had some good matches. He did have good matches.
He did have good matches. That's why he got a B minus.
He would probably be in the A plus range if he was still the champion right now.
Probably would be.
Probably would be.
But he ain't, so he isn't.
He ain't, so he ain't.
The next one,
Number B.
Number B, yes.
Number B.
Who
'Cause
got
we're
a
from
B?
Alabama.
Who got a B? It was 2 who's.
2 who's who of
2 who's.
Surprised Roderick Strong's on the list. Spoiler alert, he ain't on the list, ladies and gentlemen.
He's not on the list.
No, he's not, ladies and gentlemen.
The team that got a B is the Addiction.
Doing very well. If it was the Young Bucks, they'd get a letter A, but they probably are more grouped on the New Japan
Yes.
grading system. But ladies and gentlemen, the Addiction, who I believe still are at this moment the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. I believe that. But yes, they have done very well. They have basically, I mean, it's the same gimmick, but they've almost had a resurgence in their career since they left TNA, which
Oh,
a lot of
definitely.
people can say that.
And Austin Aries will say that very shortly.
He will. But ladies and gentlemen, the Addiction, Kazarian and Daniel, I almost said Austin Aries, I don't know why.
I said Austin Aries.
You did. Daniels and Kazarian have done very well with reinventing themselves without reinventing the wheel. It ain't broke, don't fix it, but they have
tweak it.
They tweaked it some, and I mean, of course they had to change their name from Bad Influence to The Addiction, which The Addiction's a cool name anyway. And they're still acting goofy and still doing the thing, but when they're in the ring, it's time for business.
It is.
And they do very well, even though Daniels is getting older, he can still go with the best of them. And I see nothing but good things continuing for The Addiction.
Well, that's true.
And the next B.
The next
We're not
B,
cussing, folks. Nope.
He would have been an A, but he dropped his championship.
And he's another one that knows that you can not have to reinvent the wheel, but you could still have greener pastures outside of TNA.
Yes. If he would have been still the IWGP champion,
but he would be under the new. He might probably be under the New Japan ranking at that point.
Still, yes.
But
AJ Styles gets a B on this grading period.
Yes, he's doing great as the leader, taking over Finn Balor's spot.
Right.
As the leader of the Bullet Club, he has taken it to new heights that Finn Balor, he was getting there, but AJ Styles has taken the group to new heights.
Yes.
Where everybody's been championed and everything, and especially Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows and the Young Bucks, they are killing it in their respective tag team divisions.
Oh, definitely.
But I mean, it's nothing but great things coming for AJ Styles as he continues to move on up the rankings of New Japan and Ring of Honor to that deluxe apartment in the sky. Ha, ha, ha. Exactly. But could he be the man that beats Jay Lethal?
He could be.
That would be interesting.
He could
because I mean, he does have commitments to New Japan, but without the belt, he can spend more time in the Ring of Honor. As long as Ring of Honor got the cha-chang, if you will.
That's right.
Because we know New Japan got the cha-chang.
That's why a lot of people go to New Japan.
Exactly. But, ladies and gentlemen, A+. Not just A, but A+. He went all the way above and beyond.
Plus.
What a career.
And if I could give it, I would have gave it. It'd been an A++++. Plus. Because this man stepped out of the shadow when he was. He took the bull by the horns. He says, put this company on my back. I'm leading us on past TNA. I'm going to be number 2. Look out, Global Force.
Exactly. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this man is not only the Ring of Honor television champion, and he's television right now.
So he changed it to the World Television Championship.
Really?
Yes.
But he's the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, and he is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion.
They made a point that when he come out there this past Wednesday, he changed the television title back to the World Television Championship.
Interesting.
As he calls himself the undisputed World Champion.
There you go.
Now Nigel McGuinness tried to take the TV title off of him.
He wouldn't let him do it.
He said no.
I'm going to defend both.
He said he would defend both, and he said, hey, whatever you want to do.
Which I do like that. Let him defend both. I want to see what happens in this reign. I think that the people, the higher-ups of Ring of Honor have realized that this man is going above and beyond. He is the John Cena, if you will, of their group, but he can actually wrestle. But he is really taking on the ranks of Ring of Honor, and he's had the longest reign of the World Television Champion, and he has fought nobody but the best, beating these people to retain his television championship, and now getting his first defense for the Ring of Honor World Championship going against Roderick Strong at Death Before Dishonor.
The best thing, the same place where Austin Aries shows up.
Yes.
The best thing to do is to start it with Jay Lethal defending the World Television title.
Yes.
And then it with Jay Lethal defending the World Heavyweight title.
If you want to start with a bang, start with your champion. If you want to end with a bang, end with your champion.
That's right. So let's get over to where we're ranking the worst to the best of the 40 WWE wrestlers.
We're going to talk about number 13 to number 11.
And really, he's not a wrestler. But
he's not a wrestler, but he is a character, on the promotion. Yes.
And number 13, unlucky 13.
Unlucky.
Paul Heenan.
Better than being 40.
Another manager we should have talked about.
Better than being number 40.
You're right about that.
Yes.
The pros for Paul Heyman, the best talker in the WWE today.
True.
Is perfect at playing a chicken blank manager when necessary.
True.
And can sell anything to anyone by speaking with passion unmatched by anyone in the WWE.
That's true.
Cons: only appears when Brock Lesnar appears and when a Lesnar storyline demands it.
Unfortunately.
Might not be with WWE forever.
Nobody's with
Not
WWE forever.
good. Except Vince.
Well, of course, because
Yes.
he's a robot.
They'll just stuff him and he'll be
That's true.
fired.
Exactly.
WWE aren't capitalizing on his popularity and promo skills to get anyone else over as a new Paul Heyman guy / girl.
Right there. Number 12, we're going to talk about Bray Wyatt. Pros, he has a great gimmick.
He does.
He's incredible with his promo skills.
He is.
He's very athletic for a 300-pound man.
Really is.
Reminds you of people like Bam Bam Bigelow, people like Hugh Morris, people like, who was I thinking of? Vader. Think of him. I mean, he's 400 something, but
Yeah.
big dudes. Big boss man. That was the other word I
Yeah,
was
big
thinking
boss
of.
man can move.
Cons, ladies and gentlemen. Cons. He has not been booked as a main eventer,
That's not like that.
which is where he should be at this point. Yes, because he should have beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
And got that rub.
Number 2, he's losing credibility very fast.
Yes.
And number 3, he does more talking than wrestling. That's very true. He does
Does do
99% promos and a 1% match every now and then. Kind of weird.
He'll beat some nobody or below him on Raw or SmackDown.
You said what now?
He'll beat some nobody or somebody who's below him
Oh,
on Raw.
below him.
Yes, at Raw or SmackDown.
Well, I
And
thought
then
you took the E out of that.
and
I was
then
like,
he
whoa.
will lose on the
Slow
pay-per-view.
Slow down.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm not in the gutter, but it just sounded
Get
like you
your
went too
mind
fast.
out
You
of
talked
the
way
gutter.
too fast on that one.
But he will lose at the pay-per-view, which sucks.
It does, because you know he's losing to Roman Reigns.
He doesn't need to lose a Roman
he's going-
Reigns. I mean, he can lose at SummerSlam, which is another big event.
He's going to.
But he needs to beat him with mind games
He's going to.
at Battleground.
He's going to.
And number 11,
You know that.
the lovely, lovely Paige. Pros, arguably the best and most popular diva on the main roster. She
True,
is.
because AJ's gone.
Because this is her house.
Her house.
Has 10 years experience wrestling despite being only 22 years old.
Did you know she was, and she says it in every interview, she was wrestling as a fetus because her mother didn't know she was pregnant. She was taking bumps.
That's funny.
It's weird, huh?
And has a wide variety of wrestling moves under her belt.
Yes, I like the that scorpion, not scorpion death lock, but the one where she's got the legs wrapped around her leg and then she pulls them out right here with her
Yes.
arms. It's pretty cool.
It
This
is.
is that's what it is. Crosslock. Scorpion crosslock.
Paige tap out was.
They changed the name of it, yes.
PTO. Number 1 on the cons has gone through some strange bookings since fall of 2014.
True.
Might not be top priority for WWE's Divas division because she doesn't fit the typical Divas image, which is okay.
Who cares? Let her
And
be
number 3,
number 1. Okay.
the Scorpion Cross lock is better than the Paige tap.
That
And
is weird.
that
Maybe they're saying it's a con
is-
because they changed the name of it.
Could be.
Because it's the same move.
It's the same move.
Bring the leg up and pull it up on the arms and stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, next week I gotta get busy on this situation right here.
I'm going to bring the hammer. I'm going to bring some nails. We're going to build.
And then of course you gotta bring the axe. Ah, see where we went with that one.
Yes, I'll bring the axe too, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're rebuilding wrestling promotions one by one.
They are gone, but we're going to bring them back. We're going to rebuild them better. Like
Bigger.
the $6 million man.
Bigger, better
Yes.
than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with Mr. Vern Gagne's creation. We're going to start rebuilding AWA next week. Also,
We'll continue the 10 greatest WW heel stables at number 2.
and we're not going to say who number 2 is.
No, I took it off the list.
Ooh, we're not going to let you know. You gotta come
Who
back.
is the number 2 heel
Ooh,
stable?
the number 2. You got to come back to find out. And then we will enter the top 10. We enter the top 10.
We enter the top 10, folks.
Read it before you read it out
Yes.
loud. We enter the top 10 of the WWE's 40 wrestlers ranked from worst to best.
Because you might think below is something else.
See how you sound when you said it? Ladies and gentlemen, plus we're going to have ringside news.
I know. Who's going where? Who's getting fired? Who's getting hired?
Who's going to Global Force from TNA? Who's going from Global Force to TNA? Who's going where? Who's getting fired? Nobody's going from Global Force to TNA because nobody wants to go to TNA. Ladies and gentlemen, who's going where? What's happening now? Who's coming to WrestleCade? What's going on with House of Hardcore? What's going on with Ring of Honor?
Are you trying to explain the King of the Mountain rules here?
Boom, exactly. Because you can't explain it. Plus, everybody's favorite American Dream, if you will, in public countdowns.
And also, don't forget our pay-per-view preview. Review.
Take the P out. Get the P out.
I always get the P out. SummerSlam 2000.
That's what happened when I was coming over here. Somebody
And
couldn't answer
then
the door.
we'll have a whole lot more.
Oh, Lord.
It's bad for your kidneys.
It is. You can't hold it in.
Can't hold it in forever.
Ooh, it'll mess you up. You got to go hospital then. You do not want an infection.
We'll get Tyler Rowdy from the hospital then.
Hey, we could do it. They'll let us put a camera in there.
But a whole lot more. We don't know what's gonna happen.
You never know. From week to week, ladies and gentlemen, we film on Sunday, we go to Sunday, so you got Monday, you got Tuesday, you got Wrestling Wednesday.
We will be talking about Battleground. Because that next Sunday is Battleground Sunday.
Battleground Sunday. We may even have, because I don't know what the date is, because, what you call it? Let's see what the date is right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 12th. And the next week, ladies and gentlemen, the 18th is when House of Hardcore has House of Hardcore 9. So you know what? We may come on in here on Sunday and we may tell you about House of Hardcore and what happened.
It's already happened.
It's already happened, so why not? And then we'll tell you about the upcoming matches for Death Before Dishonor because that's on the 24th. And also, this coming up weekend, ladies and gentlemen, I will be live in Callaway, Florida and Daleville, Alabama.
And double duty, huh?
Double duty, Friday, Callaway, Saturday in Daleville, Alabama for Central All-Star Wrestling. And you know what?
We'll slide that right in the indie part.
Right on the indie part because, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a whole lot better than our adventure in no-name Alabama town.
Yes, for Tiger Pride.
Tiger Pride! Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be way better. And so I'll have double duty there, and you'll find out what's going on with Central All-Star Wrestling with Sika's going to be there. Glacier's going to be there.
Oh.
And Rosie from the WWE's going to be there. And the next generation, which is, I can't ever say their last name, but Lance with the last name. With the last name that starts with an A, I can't ever say it because I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to butcher it, but there's going to be like basically 3 generations right there. You got Sika, you got Rosie, and then you got the newest generation of wrestling company. He came up around the Usos' time and the Roman Reigns' time is Lance. Not going to say the last name. But ladies and gentlemen, we have all that plus Justin Overstreet, Zane Stevens, all that and so much more.
It is. Next week will be packed.
It will be jam-packed with stuff going on, and you don't want to miss episode 67.
Wow, 67.
Nobody thought we'd get to episode 2. Much like 67.
Yes.
We're proving all the critics wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Put my finger on the critics.
That's right. I point 2 every time because we're pointing it right back at the critics, ladies and gentlemen, because you keep coming back and you keep watching Top Rope Reality with
Mike Hogan
and Justin Khan.
And we'll see you next week right here on the YouTube. Thanks for watching.